And I'm Jim Grimes. Thanks for being with us tonight. Just a few months ago, the city of Frisco extended the hours for people to buy beer and booze. I want to take you over here. You see these cinder blocks that are sitting over here? These were actually used to as a pedestal for a mobile home, and it has been pushed, literally washed away some 10 feet. What's even more impressive, everything that was inside this home was also washed away. It's empty inside. His neighbor didn't fare much better. I have a feeling this may be the surprise hit at the State Fair this year. Take a look. We estimate some of the wind gusts coming in at close to 70 miles an hour. There's plenty of rain in this storm as well. All right, no wisecracks on this. Mitsubishi Motors sponsored a poll asking Americans for the craziest roads and street names they could find. And here are the top 5. Drum roll. From bottom to top, the entire community here has really been shaken up by this story. His family lost not one, but 2 of their sons. One of them attended high school. A North Texas hospital worker is accused of stealing credit cards from a dying patient.
These folks have to be very nervous out there, Jim.
You can only imagine the last time they saw the Brazos River this high was more than 25 years ago. To give you a better idea of what we're talking about, I'm standing at the edge, just beyond those trees out there, some 30, 40 yards away.
Several days to put out more than 150,000 lights.
See, I have to do that tomorrow.
That's your job.
I work with a safety net, though, so I'm good. I'm good.
Your trampoline.
Exactly, put the trampoline on.
He's going to be donated to the Fort Worth Zoo.
You had me worried there when you said a grill bought him. Well, some of the nation's top forensic scientists have unraveled a 63-year-old mystery. Last year, climate...
It's estimated that more than 250,000 North Texas children are without insurance.
The state has a great low-cost way to insure kids. It's called CHIP, and today hundreds of people found out about it while they were grocery shopping. The Dallas CHIP Coalition set up at Minger grocery stores around Dallas. Volunteers helped to answer questions and encourage families to sign up. They say the response was terrific.
It's been great. We've been...
Well, if you're interested in the CHIP program, you can check them out on the web, or you can call your local health department for more details. Dawn? A story you've been hearing a lot about recently. Local school districts are now taking steps to stop the spread of staph infections. This weekend, Frisco ISD continued to disinfect and scour school showers and locker room floors. Dozens of cases of staph have been reported around North Texas schools. Local health departments now asking school districts to track and report each of those cases. Ion College in New York has what it calls a low-level outbreak of staph. 10 members on the football team were infected. The school says the players likely contracted the bacteria from football equipment that they share. A new government report is warning about the growing problem of a drug-resistant, potentially fatal strain of staph infections that is being spread at schools, hospitals, and prisons across the nation. The Australian government has banned a new video game from being sold. Activision's upcoming first-person shooter, Soldier of Fortune Payback, was refused by the Australian Ratings Board because of what it called high-impact violence. That game not only has lots of blood and close-range shooting, but it allows players to dismember their opponents. Here in the U.S., that game has been given a mature rating. It's not suggested for anyone under 17 years of age. Well, a brand new study says Texas ranks second nationally in the number of teachers punished for sexual misconduct. According to the TEA's records, as many as 200 teachers lost their certifications for sexual misconduct that occurred between 2001 and 2005. Across the country, a total of 2,600 teachers lost their licenses over similar allegations during that same time period. Investigators in Orlando have arrested 3 managers of a weekly newspaper for aiding and abetting prostitution. The weekly paper is filled with ads for escort services and personal massage therapy. Police say by placing those ads, they were helping to promote prostitution. Attorneys for the newspaper say stopping those ads is a violation of the newspaper's First Amendment rights. The San Francisco skyline wasn't quite as bright last night. In fact, the city asked businesses and residents to turn out the lights for 1 hour. It was all part of a planned event to show just how much electricity could be saved. Between 8 to 9 o'clock, major city landmarks and quite a few homes and businesses did turn off their light switches. A similar event was held in Sydney, Australia recently. It recorded a 10% drop in electricity use after its 2 million residents turned out their lights. Well, 50-mile-an-hour winds continue to drive a wildfire across Malibu Hills, California. Hundreds of firefighters are trying to keep the fire from engulfing Pepperdine University and 2 upscale neighborhoods there. Residents and students also had to be evacuated. So far, that fire has burned more than 1,000 acres and destroyed a church and several homes. Some Arlington residents say someone is trying to run them out of town.
Coming up, why a letter like this has some apartment dwellers scared.
Plus, hundreds of thrill seekers take a huge leap of faith.
And 3,300 years after his death, he's looking good, right?
CW33's Jim Grimes is there. He joins us now live with the story. Jim?
Well, Tom, Terry, as you can imagine, it's an emotional scene out here. We're about 200 yards away from the home where all of this took place. But even at this hour, there are still about a dozen deputies down there being aided by the Texas Rangers as they continue to comb that area, trying to piece together exactly how all of this went down. Henderson County deputies are still in shock. 2 of their deputies were killed and a 3rd injured after a shootout at this quiet rural home.
This all started with a call of domestic violence in progress.
Deputies say the man confronted them with a handgun, then went back inside and returned with an assault weapon. Neighbor Gerald Nicholson saw it all.
He acted like he was fixing to give up, and then next thing I know, shots were fired, and I seen one officer fall to the ground. And I mean, it wasn't a very good sight, you know. And after that officer had fallen, gunfire started going. I heard another officer say, "I've been hit." And then all of a sudden I heard another officer hollering, "He's been shot, got another officer down." And then it sounded like World War III, you know, you see on the news in Iraq, just bam, 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 bam.
The gunman was injured and taken to the hospital, but not before 2 deputies lay dead outside his home. Deputies say they could do little against the man's rifle.
One of them was uniformed, and he was wearing his bulletproof vest, which is no good against a high-powered rifle. I don't know about the second officer. The investigator was plain clothes, and I don't know whether he had a vest on or not.
If he survives, the suspect, Randall Mays, faces a list of charges. His neighbor says even that's too good for him.
I feel sorry for the families. I pray for them. I hate to say it, but I wish they'd have been able to kill him. I mean, that's an unchristian thing to be. I'm a Christian man, but, you know, some people just don't deserve to be on the face of this earth.
Neighbors say Randall Mays had a real interest in weapons. In fact, he's been known to shoot them off at all hours of the day and night. They've called police on him numerous times. No idea what set him off today. He remains in the hospital. Again, we have no update on his condition. As for that 3rd officer, we understand he was shot in the leg. He's expected to survive. The other 2 officers who were killed out here today, their names have not been released, but both of them were veterans. They had been with the department for close to 10 years. Reporting live in Henderson County, I'm Jim Grimes, CW33 News.